Hello, friends. Thanks for joining me today. I want you to take a seat on your knees at the back of your mat. Gently rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes and find your breath. Take a deep inhale and let it go. Open your eyes. Tilt your head to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, and one more time, to the right, to the left, and back to center. And then we're going to go ahead and do a series of neck rolls. So let's start one way, and then switch and go the other direction. And release. Let's move down to our shoulders. We're going to roll them one way, and then switch direction, and release. Excellent. Now interlock your hands. Raise your hands up over your head. Stretch up. Beautiful. Now tilt over to the right. Back to center. Then over to the left. And release your hands down. Now we're going to do a gentle twist to the right. Back to center. Gentle twist to the left. Looking over your left shoulder. And then back to center. And now we're just going to do a gentle seated body roll. So just move in a way that feels good for you. Now reverse direction. Excellent. Release and come down into extended child's pose. Let's walk our hands just off the right side of our mat. Stack your left hand on top of your right. Keep your head low. And move your hands over to the left side. Excellent. Back to center. Roll up into table. And now we're going to come into our cat-cow. Inhale up. Exhale round. Inhale up. Exhale round. And one more time. Inhale up. And exhale round. And release. Now we're going to wag the dog. So pull your right hip and your right shoulder towards each other, looking over your right shoulder. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Pull your left shoulder and your left hip towards each other. And then again on the right, left, right, and left. Release. Now gently lower your torso down onto the mat. We're going to do some cobra rolls. So have your hands on either side of your chest and gently push up into a baby cobra. gently come down. This time when we come up, we're going to push up just a little bit higher. Inhale, head up. Exhale down. And this last time, we're going to come up into a full cobra. So inhale, push up. Excellent. Release. Extend your arms out in front of you. And then inhale, lift up your arms, lift up your legs, tighten that core. And release down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, arms up, legs up. And release. One more time. Inhale, arms up, legs up. And now go ahead and move your arms along your sides. Try to lift up even higher. And release. Great job. Now while we're down here, we're going to do a nice shoulder stretch. So extend your right arm out. We're going to roll up onto our right side. Extend that left arm in the air. Beautiful. Come back to center. And now we're going to extend the left arm out, roll onto our left side. Place our leg out as a kickstand. Right arm up. And breathe and enjoy. And gently release. Come back to center and then push back into child's pose. And then roll up into table. And now we're going to plug our toes in and hover our knees. Engage your core. And then slowly extend those legs into downward dog. And go ahead and pedal your feet, loosen up your calves. Great. Look up, step forward to the top of your mat into forward fold. Grab onto your elbows and nod your head yes. And nod your head no. And swing over to the right. Swing over to the left. Right. Left. One more time. Right. Left. Center. And slowly release and roll up to standing. And now I want you to spread your arms out and make a big Y. Look up towards the sky. Beautiful. Release. Interlock your hands behind your back. Forward fold. Then slowly roll up. Keep your hands interlocked and come into a chest opening pose. And release. Great job. Extend your arms out to the sides, and then we're going to do a twist. Look over your right fingertips. Beautiful. Come back to center. Now the left side. Beautiful. Center, release, and I want you to inhale, arms up overhead, and come onto your tiptoes. Find your balance. And now we're going to arc over to the right. And back to center and over to the left. And back to center and release. Great job. We're going to move into our sun salutation series. So go ahead, inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Look up. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. And again, inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look up. Step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look up. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. Take a couple resting breaths. Wonderful. We're going to move into a sun salutation B variation. So go ahead and inhale, come into chair pose. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Then raise your right leg up into three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, curl it under, plant that foot forward, turn your left foot at a 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. And then open up into warrior two. And flip that palm and come into peaceful warrior. And then take that right arm, bend it, rest it on that thigh. Stretch your left arm overhead, side angle. Come back up into warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Open up your hips to the side. And come into triangle. Beautiful. Come up. We're going to rotate that back foot to be in alignment with the front of our mat. High lunge. Beautiful. Lower that left knee down to the ground. Release your hands down on either side of your right foot. Flex your right foot. Extend your right leg. And bend over it, feeling that incredible stretch. Beautiful. Release, bend that knee. Step back into plank. Downward dog. We're going to do it on the other side. So go ahead, inhale that left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, curl it under, step it forward. Right foot's at a 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Excellent. Open up into warrior two. Flip that palm, bring that hand up. Peaceful warrior. Now bend that arm, rest it on your left thigh, right arm overhead. Excellent. Come back up into warrior two. Open up your hips to the side, straighten that front leg, triangle pose. And then come back up, warrior two. Align that back foot, come into high lunge. Lower that right knee down to the ground. Flex that left foot. And breathe. Beautiful. Bend that knee. Step back into plank. And go ahead and bring your knees down and come into child's pose and rest for a moment. Wonderful. Roll back up into downward dog. Look forward. Step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, come into chair. And push up into standing. Wonderful. We're going to do that one more time. Come into chair. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And then bring that right leg up into three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, curl it under, step it forward, angle that left foot, come into warrior one. Open up into warrior two. Excellent. Come into peaceful warrior. And then bend that right arm, rest it on that right thigh, left arm overhead, side angle. Come back up into warrior two, open up those hips. Cartwheel your arms down, triangle. Come back up, warrior two, and then come into high lunge. Bring that left knee down. Flex that right foot. Do a little forward fold over that extended leg. Beautiful. Bend that right knee. Plant your hands. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up into three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, curl it under, step it forward, angle that right foot. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Open up into warrior two. And then peaceful warrior. And then bend that left arm, stack it on your left thigh, right arm overhead, side angle. Come back up into warrior two, open up those hips, cartwheel those hands down, triangle. And then inhale, come back up, and we're going to switch into high lunge. Bring that right knee down, flex that left foot, extend that left leg. Beautiful. Bend that left knee, plant your hands, step back into plank, and then come into child's pose. Wonderful. Push back up into downward dog. And now we're going to walk our hands to our feet. So we're going to end up in forward fold at the back of our mat. And then slowly roll up to standing. And then we're going to do a side step on our mat. And inhale, arms up. Make sure your toes are slightly pointed away. And then forward fold. Now walk your hands to the inside of your left foot. If you feel any pressure in your knee, just come closer to center. And breathe. Beautiful. Back to center. And then let's walk over to the other foot with our hands. And breathe. Now go back to center, and I want you to toe heel your feet in one round. Bend your knees even more and come into a forward fold. Beautiful. Slowly roll up to standing. And then step to the top of your mat. Great. From here, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up, three-legged dog. Excellent. Bend that right knee and open up your hips. And then go ahead and bring that knee back underneath you. Bring it forward. Come into pigeon pose. Now, depending on how tight your legs are, you might want to keep your torso up. But if it's within your practice today, go ahead and try to lower your chest gently down towards your mat. Beautiful. Gently push up. Step back into plank. Push back into downward facing dog. And then inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, stack those hips. And then bring that knee underneath. Come into pigeon pose. Beautiful. Release. And then we're going to step back into plank. And we're going to do a little bit of rolling plank here. So we're going to come up on our toes, roll up into downward dog, and then roll forward into plank, back into downward dog, forward into plank, back into downward dog. And this time, when you roll forward into plank, you're actually going to come then all the way down onto your chest. Make sure your hands on either side of your chest, and you're going to push up into cobra. Beautiful. Push back into child's pose. And then we're going to come up and we're going to move into camel. So depending on your practice, you might want to do one-legged camel. Your right arm touches your right heel. Or you might want to do full camel with both hands. You decide what works for you today. If you're doing one-handed camel, it's time to switch sides. Beautiful, and release. And now I want you to bring your bent knees just off the sides of your mat. Make sure your big toes are touching, and then we're going to push back into this exaggerated, modified child's pose. It's going to do a really nice job with some hip opening. All right, roll back up into table, and then we're going to extend our arms out, place our knees, and come into puppy pose. Let your chest release into the mat. Beautiful. Push back into child's pose. Have your arms along your legs this time. Beautiful. We're going to come up into a seated position, and we're going to come into fire log pose. So take your right leg and put it at a right angle, and then we're going to stack our left leg on top of our right. This is a pretty intense pose, and it's normal if your legs don't rest perfectly on each other. Just do what you can. Once you're in fire log pose, you can decide to stay there, or inhale and gently forward fold. Intensify the stretch in your hips. Wonderful. Walk your arms over on either side of your right knee. Continue stretching in fire log. And gently release. Go ahead and release your legs, extend them out in front of you, give them a good shake. And then we're going to come into fire log on the left side. So bend your left leg at a right angle, stack your right foot and knee on top, and decide if you want to stay here or if you want to inhale and forward fold. Now walk your arms over either side of your left leg. Continue stretching. Beautiful, and release. Great. From here, we're going to come into a reclined cobbler pose. Put your feet together in front of you, and then we're going to put our arms in a gold post position. And relax. Now, if you have a block or a book nearby and you want to extend your release, you can feel free to put that underneath your back. And if not, just stay where you are and enjoy. Let gravity do the work. And release. So I want you to bring your knees together, and then you're going to walk your feet onto the outsides of your mat. Go ahead and stretch your arms up overhead and grab onto your elbows. And we're going to hold on to our arms while we do windshield wiper with our leg. So let that right knee fall in towards the mat. And then the left, right, left, right, and left, and release. Now we're going to cross our right ankle on our bent left leg just below the knee. Extend your arms out into a T. Now let your legs fall to the right and look over your left fingertips. Beautiful. Come back to center. And we're going to do it on the other side. So this time, you're going to put your left ankle below your right knee. You're going to let your legs collapse to the left and look over your right fingertips. And back to center. And uncross your legs. Now bring your knees in closer to your chest, hands on your knees, and we're going to rotate our knees one way and then the other. Wonderful. Release, and we're going to stretch out into Shavasana. In Shavasana, I want you to release any tension you're holding in your body. Surrender yourself into the mat. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, rock your head side to side. And then when you're ready, go ahead and roll onto your right side into a fetal position. Now push up into a seated position. And from here, we're going to put our hands on top of our heart. Find your breath. And then I want you to inhale, expand your ribs, expand your lungs, fill your chest up completely with air. Pause and gently exhale. Again, inhale, fill your chest cavity completely with air till you can't take any more in. Pause and release. Continue at your own pace. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Notice the warmth of your hands on your chest as you're breathing. Beautiful. Take a nice inhale in and let it go. And we're going to release our hands down to our knees. You can touch your fingertip and your pointer finger and extend the rest of your fingers out, or just rest your palms loosely on your knees. I want you to sit with dignity. Feel the elongation in your spine. Feel how heavy your arms feel. Notice the softness of your belly. Notice where your legs and your feet are touching each other and where they're touching the mat. Notice how supported you feel by the mat. Bring your attention back to the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Notice if your eyelids feel heavy or light. Notice if your skin feels cool or warm. Wonderful. Okay, friends. We are going to inhale, and we're going to bring our arms up, hands together down in front of our heart. Thank yourself for your practice today, for doing something good for you